that point, you're going to ask if you can inventory your equipment. It'll be a CLS bag. We just have extra equipment out here today because there's so many people, but it's one of those CLS bags in there. So when you go to inventory it, you're going to have 2 splints, 6 cravats, right? As you're inventorying, I suggest you roll your cravats up, at least 4 of them.
One full squad is 9 people. And then you add in another squad, you add an RTO, should be 19 this one. But we don't. You can put it check. Yeah, but you're
Four rolled cravats. You're gonna have 6 cravats total, so the other 2 on test day, I can't guarantee that your sling's gonna be pre-tied, right? So all you do for that, roll the cravat all the way out, take the 2 long ends, bring them together to a point, and tie it on. It'll look like a nacho chip, right? Put that to the side. Then you're gonna leave one just loosey-goosey, right? Leave it loosey-goosey over there. You're gonna check your burn wrap. Make sure your burn wrap, when you open it, it protrudes the white sterile pad, right? Some people roll this shit backwards. It's gonna fuck y'all if y'all don't check it. When you verified you have everything will go back into the bag itself. You don't have to zip the bag back up, you have to put it back in the bag before time starts. We're going to be reading the task conditions and standards while you're inventorying your bag. Should be enough time for you to inventory. At that time, we're going to state zeros on the clock. You're going to say zeros. We're going to say time begins when you talk to the casualty. So you're going to walk up to the casualty and you're going to be like, you're going to reassure him first, ask what's hurting, and then tell him how you're going to fix it. So you're going to walk up. Hey, everything's going to be all right, man. What's going on? What hurts?
I got a burn on my leg and I think my arm's broken.
All right, so you got a burn on your
left leg.
Right arm fracture. Cool. So we'll take a look at that fracture, splint it if we need to, then we're going to get to your burn and wrap, all right? At that point, you're going to go straight into, casualties will have gloves on, right? So, don't touch the injured leg. You're going to go to the hurt arm, remove the glove. If they got a ring, a bracelet, any jewelry on, you're going to take it off and put it in their pocket. Not your pocket, their pocket. You're going to loosen any tight binding clothing. I suggest go up to the bicep, shimmy it up, reveal the wound. You're going to tuck in that cuff. Once you reveal that wound, you're going to check circulation. We will state circulation is good. At the same time, you're checking circulation, check cap refill. So just say checking circulation, checking cap refill. We're going to say good. You're going to go into checking temperature of both arms. Temp's good. You're going to ask them 3 important questions. This has to be verbatim. If you have your books, I would underline this or highlight. Are you feeling any numbness, tightness, or cold sensation? Cool. And I'll teach you an acronym after this demonstration to help you remember that. After you ask those 3 questions, it's go time. So you're going to get your splint. You're going to come around. I highly suggest you walk behind the casualty at all times, because if you're walking in front and you kick his injured leg, you're going to be a no-go for furthering the injury. So you're going to get your splint, you're going to go to the uninjured arm. You're going to ask them to hold up their arm. The casualties can help you. They can't do anything that's grade material like tying knots or anything, but they can move, they can help, but you have to ask them. They're not going to do anything you don't ask them. He's conscious, so we're going to give him a little grip, right? To grab onto. You're going to measure. You're going to measure a minimum from the wrist to the elbow. You can go past the elbow right here with minimum wrist to elbow. So I like that measurement right there. Cool. Give it a little taco fold. Make them as comfy as they can be, right? It's going to help when you tie your cloth on too. I have the bag. So. You're going to go to the, you want to scoot over a little bit? You're going to go to the injured arm. You're going to place it there. You're going to ask them to hold it. So you're going to get your cravats that you have pre-rolled, right? We're going to say that the injury is right in the middle of the right now. The dummies will be marked on test day, right?
Yeah, I know.
You have to do 2 cravats above the fracture and 2 below. That may not be enough right there to get 2 without touching the fracture, so I'm going to take it and give it a couple turns. Hold some tension down and place it over it. Don't go over any major joints, i.e. the wrist joint and the elbow joint. You can go up to, but not on top of or past. You're going to use a non-slip knot, so an overhand with an overhand safety or a square knot. Don't cinch it down too tight. You don't want to cut circulation off, but you don't want it to be unstable either. The longest part of this lane is right here, tying these knots. You can tie the knots underneath, you can tie them to the side, you can tie them on top. I don't suggest you do, because when you cinch it down, if you pinch them and it hurts them, that's a no-go. If the casualty's arm is getting tired and kind of drooping, you put your knee up and ask them to place it there as you tie your knots. Boom. You're going to check your knots, 1, 2, 3, 4, make sure they're not loose. Go in for your second time checking circulation. You're going to check circulation a total of 3 times. Checking circulation, we're going to state circulation is good. You do not have to check the cap refill except that first time. As soon as you check circulation there, you know it's time to go into your sling procedures. I taught you how to build this a second ago, right? You see where the knot end is, how it's flat? That's the side you're going to use to go over the arm. So pinch it, open it. He can help you because he's conscious, right? So you're going to ask him, can you pick up all that loose shit for me? Go over the arm, only go to the elbow. Hold tension up here the entire time.
No go.
Not too much, right? You don't want to be jerking him around, just enough to where there is tension there. You're going to ask him to bring his arm into his chest. At no point are we going to open this and go over the head, right? We're going to go behind the neck the entire time. Take that other point and tie it off. Give it a good once over look, it's good. You're going to take your last cravat. You're going to make a big ass bandana.
Yeah, just still
right? You're going to ask the casualty, can you lift your non-injured arm? You're going to drape it over him. Right across the chest, you're going to go under the armpit of the uninjured arm and across the middle of the bicep. The middle of the bicep of the injured arm. You want to try to keep it as level across as you can. This creates stability. And then you're going to do a non-slip knot on the back. Once you got to this point, you come back to the front, you see that there's a lot of drapiness right there. We're going to fix that, right? You're going to ask him to slightly lift his arm and you're going to tuck that in. Drop your arm for me. Then you're going to ask him, is it immobile? Can you move it? They're going to give it a little shake. They're going to say no. If it falls off, it'll be a no-go. The whole point of us doing that is so we know that you did your work right. As a casualty confirming your work's good, we don't have to get up and check everything. You're going to go in for your third and final time. Skin-to-skin contact on the injured arm, checking circulation. We'll say circulation is good. Once you check that third and final circulation check, you know you're ready for the burn, right? You're done with the fracture. So we're going to come up to the fracture, right? You're going to ask the casualty, can you move your leg? They're going to say yes. You can prop their leg however you see fit. I like personally to ask them to bend their knee and hold it like that. You're gonna go ahead and flash your stuff. All right. The burn's gonna be right here somewhere, right? You're gonna unblouse the pant leg. You're gonna roll it all the way up to the knee. Be very careful with this, right? If at any point you open it and you touch that white at all, fingertips, if it falls like that, that's a no-go. If it falls like that, you're a very lucky person because you're still good. Don't de-sterilize the sterile pad at any point. You're gonna place this directly over the burn. You wanna wrap it, but not too tight, right? We don't want pressure, it's a burn. You're gonna go through the locking bar one time. Do not lock it back, that creates pressure. It's not what we want. You're gonna give it a figure 8 wrap. You can use these locking detents or you can use the tuck method. I'm about to show you the tuck method. So say, for example, we ended up right on top of the burn. That's as far as we could go. We do not want that, right? That would be a no-go if you lock it on top. So we're going to roll it back and we're going to tuck it. If you tuck it and this piece of the bar is protruding out like that, that is a no-go, unsecure. Make sure you tuck it all the way in, just like that. If you have this leg propped on you, gently set it down. Look at your grader and state, I am done, time, something like that. If you do not tell us that you are done and you're just staring at us, time's gonna run. I don't know if you're done, right? And it is that simple. Are there any questions?